In just over a year, the next major installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe will soon be upon us. Avengers Doomsday. The trailer is coming in a few weeks, apparently, likely to be released alongside theatrical screenings for the third Avatar film. Avatar Fire and Water, or Avatar Ash and Fire, or Avatar Fire and Ash, sorry. They're all the same. Blue Smurf Pocahontas CGI fest just never interested me. Anyway, Avengers Doomsday is over a year away, and as the weeks and months have gone by, there's occasionally been little leaks or rumours about more cast members added to the film, because these kinds of films are filmed with incomplete scripts and filmed with a lot of green screening to give the filmmakers the flexibility to make big modifications and story changes in post-production. So if they wanted to, they can throw in a cameo of an actor, bring them in to shoot some scenes against a green screen, and splice them into the story as the script is being changed on the fly. Doomsday is being sold to audiences largely on the return of Robert Downey Jr., but it's also a cameo-heavy movie with multiverse crossovers and lots of MCU characters appearing on screen for the first time together, much like Infinity War and, of course, Endgame. The issue is this. Audiences knew that Infinity War was a big culmination of the Thanos Infinity Stone saga, and that Endgame would be the conclusion to that story. It took 10 years to build it up, 10 years to get to that point. So that build-up, that anticipation was significant. With Doomsday, it's a totally new multiverse story that had no previous build-up over the years. Yes, there's been a few mentions of the multiverse and stuff, but nothing like 10 years of a build-up. So really, does anyone care that Doctor Doom is going to be the main villain, or that Robert Downey Jr. is returning to play him? Now, I'm perfectly fine with Tony Stark as a character never returning, because I believe his story was told and concluded in a satisfying manner. But I think audiences who are interested in seeing Robert Downey Jr. come back to the MCU are kind of more interested in seeing him play Tony Stark than play Doctor Doom. Furthermore, the rumours and leaks about the film aren't exactly landing with the same impact as leaks and rumours used to in the build-up to prior major MCU movies. They can keep throwing in characters like Wolverine or Deadpool or Spider-Man, whatever, but the MCU has kind of already done the cameo fest thing to death at this point. You know, the multiverse crossover concept has been covered in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Deadpool and Wolverine. It's nothing new, and the novelty of that plot device was only ever going to be short-lived. With the best days of the Marvel Cinematic Universe behind it, and budgets having only increased massively in recent years, are $2 billion box office hits even possible anymore for this franchise? And fundamentally, is the main problem here audience apathy? There will be, of course, curiosity about the return of Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, etc., but that's just novelty. People didn't part with their hard-earned money to go and see Infinity War for the novelty or member berries and cameos and reunions. They paid to see Infinity War because it was the height of the franchise, and it was the first part of a two-part conclusion to the story, the Infinity Saga, and they wanted to know how that story was going to play out. They were invested in that story arc. There was significant interest in the story, but I'm getting the impression that the story for Doomsday is not the driving factor in people's interest in seeing the film. It's more the nostalgia factor and callbacks of seeing actors return and having the OG X-Men come back and seeing key Avengers cast members return. The draw is quite superficial in that respect. It just feels like a gigantic reunion movie. And if a film story isn't the main driving interest, then I think that's an issue. It's not to say that Avengers Doomsday can't be a great film or that it's not going to be a great film. It may very well be. It could be the best in the franchise, though I doubt it. But from the get-go, the narrative is just a multiverse plot device that facilitates some crossovers and character resurrections and maybe some time travel in there. If the initial motivation at the inception of writing the script is, how do we get these actors in the same scene together, as opposed to, how do we tell a great story? I think that's not a good foundation to base a movie off. And foundation is everything. And that's why I have a massive problem with how these films are being made. Because the script is being developed during shooting, action scenes are being filmed, and the script is being modified to serve those action beats. The story feels like it's of secondary importance, and add to that several mediocre MCU movies and TV shows in recent years, and Avengers Doomsday is going to have to contend with quite a bit of Marvel's cinematic apathy at this stage. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell to be notified of future updates. Hit that like button and share this video out there. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.